here we go. Let's get underway. First off, we have the RAS Turin. For the Centurions, a galleon being piloted by Blue, port side, double lumberjack and Hades. Starboard side, Minotaur and Hwacha, and a flare on the back. They're also running the RAS Prosciutto, a mobula being piloted by a Salt Pig. Mercury up top, with a pair of Artemises on the lower deck, and Flamethrower and Carronade on the upper. Take it away, Urs.
And on the blue team, we have the Trading T, Armor Freak and Geddon, a mobula piloted by Mean Machine. Hades, Inner Wings, Light Carronade, Artemis, Outer Wings, Artemis, Flare Gun, and their ally, the Had Matters, piloted by Mitza Wildcard. It is the Gap Mortar Pyramidion with the left side Banshee and Artemis. So it looks like, yeah, with now knowing what the Centurions are bringing, they've decided now to go with a little more of a mid-range team composition, eschewing that the Hwacha fish in favor of the Gap Mortar Pyrrha.
Yeah, I don't know about this Artemis on the port side of the Had Matters. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. I don't get why you usually don't use that gun unless you're specifically using it for long range, but one Artemis isn't enough to turn the port side of a Pyrrha to the enemies.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe if... Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I mean, if the mobula decides to stay at range, I guess maybe the Had Matters would be able to contribute a little bit of long-range fire. I mean, let me tell you, we were talking about close-range galleons. In my experience, flying with a close-range galleon as my ally in, what was it, Hephaestus Challenge? So I was flying Pyramidion, and my Pyramidion did have 2 Artemis on the side. That didn't work well for us either. But I guess the idea was that if we needed to, it was a Gap Mortar Pyramidion, that if we could turn to the side, like double Artemis has a lot of disabling power, even one Artemis has a decent amount of disabling power. So if you think about it from a matchup perspective, we have the Galleon on red team, so you see kind of the mobula staying in center map, abusing the terrain, getting some kind of pot shots. If the Had Matters, even if they're only able to get their one Artemis into arc, that one Artemis can do a lot of damage to heavy weapons. So I don't know, maybe that's the thinking behind it.
Maybe. It could also be a backup instead of the Banshee. Like, let's say the Banshee goes down, but the Artemis is still up. Even then, though, I'd probably just take another Banshee.
Well, I mean, I don't think the decision is between a Banshee and Artemis. I think, like, the opportunity cost, the trade-off, is that you... Sorry, something is happening outside. Is that you don't get to bring a flare gun. So you don't have that spotting capability.
They still do, though. They have a flare on the Armor Freaking Geddon.
Well, I mean, yeah, they do, but the Pyramidion does not, is what I mean. So I guess they are going to rely on the mobula to try to get some spots.
Turin revealing itself a little bit. I think it could be seen from that flare. Yeah, the Armor Freaking Geddon is throwing out flares. I think it might reveal both of the the Trading Troops teams.
You mean the Centurions?
Prosciutto. No, Prosciutto spotted. I meant the Trading Troops. No, they threw it out pretty far. Prosciutto did get spotted. So right now, Trading Troops have a golden opportunity, and they throw out an Artemis and reveal themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they could probably, the Centurions could probably determine kind of where they were because of where the flare landed. You know, they're probably in center map somewhere. And the Centurions are going to continue to rotate down kind of that southern mountain range and pop out on the blue side of the map. And it looks like
taking point.
Yeah, it looks like Trading Team is aware of this. They've kind of got sort of like a, I don't know, split angle. Actually, the Had Matters is poking out a little bit. They're not sure. Yeah, they're not sure of where the Centurions are. And Turin's actually going to get a nice broadside potentially on the mobula, as the Had Matters is out on a scouting mission.
Yeah, potentially. Prosciutto eating a little bit of Hades fire, but the Armor Freaking Geddon is not looking good at all right now. It's dropping down. Turin turning port side guns over. Wants to pop that balloon and take the Armor Freaking Geddon out of the fight completely. If it gets low enough, the Mercury nor the Artemis will be able to land.
Oh, Had Matters actually with just a beautiful kind of surprise engagement on the Prosciutto. They definitely have an opportunity to take him out if those mortars land.
One more! One more! The armor comes up! Had Matters turning. The balloon goes down on the Prosciutto, and it's dropping. Now the Had Matters is desperately turning around. They have buffed turning engines, and they're burning Phoenix Claw as well. There they go. They get the arc. Now it's just going to take a little bit more. Prosciutto's armor drops. Gatling and Mortar able to finish it up. Turin now has a good shot on the Had Matters, however, and there's still arc even as they bottom out.
Yeah, but they're not going to be
anymore.
able to not going to be able to maintain it. Turin's got to book it out of here. They're not going to be able to take both these blue ships. I mean, you were talking earlier about the Banshee as maybe a substitute for the Mortar, but the Banshee wouldn't have done nearly as much damage as the Mortar did there. I mean, I think that's really one of the reasons why the Banshee's not that viable as a forward-facing gun.
No, it's not at all. I agree.
Although I think it's interesting with the 1-4 kind of whole nerf on the Pyramidion. I think that does make it interesting in like Pyra v Pyra matchups, the Banshee, just because you don't necessarily need the damage of the Mortar. I don't know. It's something to think about, just having that increased versatility versus the now reduced Pyramidion health.
Turin not able to land shots on the Had Matters anymore, but the Prosciutto spawns in, immediately gets everyone to the guns. Gatling coming out, but a lot of it is going into the balloon, and there's no way it can keep firing, not when it gets disabled. Prosciutto going to continue backing up and keeping arc on the Had Matters. And I think this is all she wrote for the poor Pyra. Turin, in the meantime, taking a lot of damage from the Armor Freaking Geddon. We say it over and over, Mobula counters Galleon.
I mean, you got those weapon disabling Artemis, so Turin can't really do anything about it. Although Armor Freaking Geddon actually looks like they managed to get a Lumberjack up long enough to take out the Mobula's balloon, which is pretty important. The Geddon does have a Hades, so it can fire, have a little bit of return fire upwards, but it'll be a few moments before the Artemis come back into effect, and those are like the really important weapons in this matchup.
The Turin able to take the Armor Freaking Geddon out of the fight for a minute. Now Lumberjack's coming in on the Had Matters, helping the Prosciutto a little bit, and now the Prosciutto can come off of the Had Matters and assist with the Armor Freaking Geddon. Maybe pull it off of the Turin. Allow the Turin to assist in this fight a little bit more. It's been struggling so much as the Hades continues to reign in.
And this is a little dangerous from the Prosciutto actually showing their behind to the Had Matters. Had Matters might be able to get a quick kill on the red Mobula here.
Yeah, potentially. Flamethrower going out. Balloon not looking great. 8 stacks of fire on it. It's going to drop. Armor's going to drop as well. And the Prosciutto wants the nudge, but the Armor Freaking Geddon is dropping a little bit too fast, I think. In the meantime, Had Matters coming in with the Gap Mortar. They have easy shots on that top deck.
And actually, Armor Freaking Geddon's Hades doing a significant amount of damage to the turn as it was falling. I think might have been, I guess, the like Carronade on the Geddon coming into effect, taking out the turn's balloon and knocking them out of the fight.
There we go. Watcher goes out. Not going to do a whole lot. I think the turn's pretty much done.
I mean,
knocking the Had Matters out, but the Hades and Artemis going to continue reigning in.
I mean, they do have to be careful. They are on a red side of the map, although the Prosciutto does decide to take the farthest possible spawn, which is certainly the right decision as their ally goes down.
Yeah, they don't want to meat grind this. It's 0 for 3 right now. Both the Had Matters and Armor Freaking Geddon have taken quite a bit of damage, but right now, the trading T is turning out pretty well. I gotta say, I think the double lumberjack is just countered way too hard by this Mobula.
Yeah, it's just, man, heavy weapons versus disable is not a winning fight. We've seen it time and time again, but people, I mean, the Galleon is a pet ship for a lot of people. It's sort of, it's big. It's got a lot of firepower. It's tanky. There are a lot of appealing qualities. It's just, this is not a good environment to be in, with the Artemis being so strong and the Mobula being so widely played.
Yeah, it's risky. It's a risky pick. Prosciutto firing in. They do have that Mercury, and they're able to snipe out the guns of the Galleon very easily. But now they're taking the Armor Frigageddon as the only thing that can actually engage them at this range.
Yeah, if
Or sorry, I'm getting confused here. I just said the Mercury can take out the guns of the Galleon. There is no Galleon on the Trading T side. Good morning. Had Matters actually turning their port side over. I think they're just trying to get out of here, but that leaves them so vulnerable. Hades, in fact, going to land. Holy cow.
yeah, this is kind of the engagement the red team wants, right? They have the stronger long-range firepower. The Had Matters is that mid-close range gap mortar pyramidion. So if they can keep the Trading T at this range, they have a pretty strong advantage. Although, you know, it's when you're the sniping team and you're kind of waiting for the other team to engage you, you can't really do that. Like, it's kind of, the game is too far gone. They're at a 3-point disadvantage. If the game ends, they're going to lose. So they have to, now they're sort of, the onus is on them to engage blue team, because blue team can just sit there forever and they'll win because they're ahead.
Yeah, right now there's no incentive for them to engage. I think they're just going to poke out, peck, try to buy time. But as it stands, the turn cannot move in at all.
Like, this is probably what the Centurions should have been doing from the start of the match, rather than trying to move into center map.
I agree. It's too little too late, though. 10 minutes left on the... Well, I'll ask. Time?
And I'm certainly curious to see if the Trading Team wants to use that to their advantage. If they're going to be more, just, you know, lie back, set up a tent in the shadow of Candy Mountain and have a nice little picnic over here on the south side of the map, or if they want to fight, if they've got that bloodlust.
Yeah, even if they drop 2 kills, there's not much time left at all. These are not going to generally be quick kills. The Prosciutto can peck someone down fairly quickly. I mean, the Mobula's potential damage output is very high with Mercury double Artemis, but what's their paired ship? The Turin. It's double Lumberjack. There's no way you're going to be getting a quick kill out of that one. Even if this goes excellently for Trading T, or excuse me, Centurions, they're going to be hard pressed to win this one.
I wonder where Turn is going. They're sort of running past their ally a bit, and they're out, and the Prosciutto's now getting sandwiched by the Geddon and the Had Matters.
Yeah, this is... Armor Frigageddon is not in a good spot, though. The RAS Turn firing in hard. Armor comes up, but it's going to go down again very quickly. Prosciutto following him down. Had Matters off to the side saying, should I come in? Should I come in? The answer is yes. And that's the wrong answer.
Yeah, just beautiful Hades and Lumberjack coming from the turn just in time. But now the Prosciutto's got a little bit of an issue, so they need some more good Lumberjacks.
Yeah, Had Matters eating Hades. That's Mr. Griffo, by the way, on that Hades. He's been performing excellently this game. Armor down on the Had Matters. It's going to drop.
Yeah, there's no escaping from that situation when... I mean, when you've got gunners that are that on point, I think at that, once you're in range of those Lumberjacks, you just kind of need to commit, especially when you're that high. Like, if they're a little lower to the ground, then maybe they could kind of sneak under some terrain, find some cover, but when you're at max altitude, there's really nowhere to go.
Yeah, Armor freaking getting backing up, trying to get behind the clouds, but a flare is right next to him. Really good flare. Gonna reveal him completely. He's gonna be able to get out of here, though. 2 for 3. Still in favor of Trading T. Time is on their side, and there's only 5 minutes left of it. So they're in a good spot here, but as we saw, they can't make the same mistake again. The Had Matters and the Armor freaking Geddon have to remain at least relatively close.
Yeah, Centurions taking their time. They're sort of regrouping in center map, but they're running out of time. They have what, like 4 minutes left in the game.
Something
and
like that.
I think they've got to get They've got to get a full team wipe in that time. Because only killing one ship will not cut it, because due to the tie rule, the team that got the first, if the scores are tied at the end, the team that got the first kill will win, which in this case is the Mad Hatters. So Centurions need to take at least 2 ships and not lose any in the process for them to win this game.
Yeah, that's a difficult prospect. They really need to go in. They can't play this game. They can't play peekaboo. They have to go all in. There's not much of an option right now. They have buffed engines on the Had Matters. They have a buffed main engine on the Armor freaking Geddon. They can make it happen. But they need to actually do it.
Yeah, and it's... You know, one of the issues with the Galleon is it's tough to chase down people when your ship is so huge and kind of lunky. Lunky's not a word, but... and also, kind of, the gunners need to reorient. Like, because when you're charging full forward in a Galleon, it takes a few seconds for the gunners to sort of adjust for the velocity of the ship to use those heavy weapons. Although they're coming in now.
Geddon loses armor. Turin, holy cow. Prosciutto and Turin really making plays, and now the Had Matters is in a huge amount of trouble. If you want to run out the timer, you can't play passive like that. The Had Matters drops. The Centurions could take it.
Yeah, they got a little too content in the position they'd kind of hold out. Maybe they didn't know where the Centurions were, didn't expect them to come in from that so quickly. But that was just a beautiful attack from 2 angles from the Centurions. Like, it's tough to kind of engage that... Oh
my god. No way. No way.
Oh no,
no
they hit the
way.
ceiling!
No way.
Oh no!
4-3. Really?
They just jammed up into the ceiling of the arch and killed their ship.
Did the Centurions just take this? 2 minutes left on the timer. What a play! They came around the side. They knew. I mean, they guessed. Maybe it was a guess. Maybe they got the flare. They saw where Trading T was, and they swept around the side.
Well, and what I was saying about what I was trying to say
Buffed main engine, man.
About the angles, getting 2 different ships into gun arcs at the same moment that you reveal yourself is very difficult. And that's what contributed to them getting the kill on the Mobula in like 3 seconds. Which is very impressive coordination from the Centurions.
They were hanging out up high. The Hades had easy arcs.
And now it looks like that's going to be the game, potentially.
1 minute left.
Trading T's only chance is if they can somehow get a surprise kill on the Prosciutto.
And they're moving in hard. They have everything buffed. Every ship here is running a buff hammer. So they could potentially do it, but the Hades and the Lumberjack is going to zone him out. All they need is 1 kill. They can bring the score up to even, and they got the first kill. They'll be able to take victory, but this is... So the Centurions did a really good measured charge. Trading T has to be reckless.
Yeah, it's the only opportunity. They have 30 seconds now, and Geddon's already taking a ton of damage and returning none in the process. I think this is probably the end for Trading T.
Hades going out on the Prosciutto. They've got Carronade going as well, but the armor on the Arma freaking Geddon drops. Shots continuing to come in, and that's it. Centurions pick it up when they were down 3-0.
Yeah, just
They brought it back at 10 minutes, 3-2, at 5 minutes left on the clock. They pick up 2 kills so unbelievably fast.